book of Acts, about halfway through, it really is kind of the halfway mark.
Yeah.
The epicenter, it goes from geographic epicenter of what God is doing being Jerusalem and Peter,
Yeah.
and then it shifts about halfway through to Antioch and Paul.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that also is that's a sign that's communicating something. It's saying that the work of God has shifted from the Jews to the Gentiles.
Yeah. And you see, even from the beginning of Acts, right? You'll be my witnesses in Jerusalem and Judea, and then to Samaria, and then to the ends of the earth.
Right.
And the plot of the book follows that same pattern, right? You start out in Jerusalem, then to Judea, and then to Samaria and Galilee, and through to Antioch and the ends of the world.
Right.
And it ends in Rome. And so that's deliberate. It's not by accident. And so
Well, that's part of what this life from the dead, right?
Yeah.
So the cutting off of the natural branches because of unbelief. What that meant was it provided in the mercy of God the opportunity for the branches of a wild olive shoot to be grafted in their place. That's us.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Gentiles. And we're so grateful for that, and we should be. That's the proper response.
Yeah.
You might call it the right response. The wrong response would be to be haughty or to be arrogant. If God did not spare the natural branches, then he will not spare you, right? So so he cut them off because of unbelief. And so do not be arrogant that you have been grafted in their place. But the root is strong.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of room on that vine for both the natural branches and the wild branches.
Yeah.
And so we see the Apostle Paul saying in Romans 11 that the natural branches will be added back on, and not at the expense of the wild branches that have all been added, but that they'll be added together. And so the natural branches will not be cut off forever. But then Paul goes one step further. He says, if God's cutting off for a time, a partial hardening of the natural branches, that is Israel, according to the flesh, if God's cutting off of them meant your inclusion, which is a really good thing, then what will God adding them back on mean? And you might think logically, well, them being removed was good for us, our inclusion. Them coming back in might mean our exclusion.
Yeah.
But Paul says he throws a curveball and surprises us and says, oh no, their re-inclusion when they come back will actually mean even better news. So them being cut off for a time was good news for you, Gentiles, inclusion. Them coming back is even better news, life from the dead. And what I wanted to say is this, the more and more I study history, particularly church history, and I look at what God has done through Christendom for 1,500 years, from Constantine to Alfred, to Great Britain and England and America and the Covenanters, the Puritans. When I look at the history of Christendom, I don't know about you, but I see life from the dead.
Yeah.
I think that the reason that the Christian gospel, this mustard seed, has grown into as large of a tree as it already has. I think there's a lot of Christians who are still kind of waiting for. It's like being a newbie racer. A terrible illustration. You're going to make fun of me. Last time you were here, I quoted the Avengers. Now I'm going to quote Fast and Furious. Even worse.
Oh, no, it's better.
Okay, it's better. Okay. But it's like, hey, you're a newbie racer. It's like too soon on that NOS, right? You're too soon on that NOS. And I think a lot of the post-millennial guys who I love, brothers in Christ, they're still thinking like we need the NOS.
Yeah.
And the NOS is that, this modern nation state of Israel, that these people are still somehow the descendants of Abraham, and they're going to get saved, and then we'll get life from the dead. And I guess what I want to say is, no, I think we've been getting life from the dead, global evangelization for 2,000 years, particularly the last 1,500 years of Christendom with Western civilization. That was life from the dead. Let's preserve that, cultivate that, see more of that. And one of the things that's harming that is Christians' bad understanding of Israel.